Hi, this is Katie. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a little life update, like health, mental health, travel, life, all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, let's just get started. So I'm going to start with physical health because I've kind of touched upon this over the last few months, but I wanted to give like an overall update of what was going on. If you guys have been watching my videos for the last few months, first of all, thank you. But second of all, you would know that I injured my shoulder. And so the story behind that, the short version, is that I went to a chiropractor in September and he adjusted my neck, and it ended up really hurting, like really hurting. Like one way was fine and it cracked and it was fine, or cracked, it popped and it was fine. And then when he did it the other way, it didn't pop, like it didn't make that noise, but it started really hurting. And I ended up talking to him about it and he's like, no, that's kind of common. Some people do get pain because like the air is releasing, but then also you're moving your spine, you know? And so he said it was kind of common to get pain, but the pain just was getting worse and worse and worse. And so I kept going back to him to get more adjustments because he said that more adjustments would help. And I got a massage to loosen up some stuff because like my muscles were hurting and my neck was hurting, like my muscles in my shoulder and my neck was hurting. And on top of the muscles hurting, it also felt very pinchy, like in my neck. And I was so nervous. But again, the chiropractor reassured me that it was kind of normal and that it would go away. I ended up going to him for follow-up treatments for almost 2 months, I would say. And then I went to New York for Thanksgiving to go see my mom because I'm from Long Island. So I went like home for Thanksgiving. And my mom knew about what was going on. And so she made me an appointment with her physical therapist because my mom has had a few injuries and she's seen a physical therapist and she loves her physical therapist. And so she's like, well, since the chiropractic isn't really exactly, because it was kind of helping, but like only like a little bit and only sometimes. Like it might help and then like it would feel a little bit better for a day and then the next day it would get worse again. You know, like it was kind of up and down with the chiropractic and it wasn't getting better after the 2 months. Like it wasn't drastically getting better. And so I was getting a little bit nervous. So my mom made me an appointment with her physical therapist. And I was just going to be in New York for Thanksgiving. But again, if you guys have been kind of following what's going on, I ended up actually staying until the first week of January because the drive back from Nashville, because I was in Nashville when all the chiropractic stuff happened. The drive from Nashville back to New York, which is 1,000 miles, made my shoulder a million times worse. It went from like a pain of like 4 to I hate saying 10 because I feel like there's always something that could hurt worse, but the closest pain I've probably ever had to a 10, like physical pain in terms of muscle and whatever, that I've ever had. It ended up being excruciating by the time I got back to New York. And so I went to the physical therapist and he told me that like he kind of checked and did things and touched my shoulder and my neck and everything. And he said that I have 2 pinched nerves in my neck and that a ton of my muscles like in my neck and in my shoulder are in spasm.
Hey guys, Editing Katie here. I just want to say really quickly that the muscles in spasm and the pinched nerve is not supposed to happen after a chiropractic adjustment. So the chiropractor, he thought that I was just in pain from what he was doing, but in reality, the way that he adjusted my neck put my muscles into spasm and pinched some of my nerves in my neck. So it was like, that's not supposed to happen. So it's actually like not a good thing. You know what I mean? Okay, back to the video.
And so I mean, obviously you kind of can't tell how long treatment will take, but I ended up seeing him for about a month and that excruciating level of pain did go down, but it still was hurting. Like it still is really hurting. And so I ended up staying in New York for a month because I couldn't drive. The idea was I was gonna go back to New York just for Thanksgiving and then go back to Nashville for the month of December and then go back for Christmas to New York. And I just ended up staying in New York the whole time because I couldn't drive. And I really understood that it was important to keep going to the physical therapy to see if that would help. And so it lessened that excruciating pain, but it does still hurt. And then so early January, here's the thing. I don't like New York. I don't like New York. I don't like being back on Long Island. I just don't feel good. The house that my mom lives in is a house that I had a trauma in when I was a child. And so when I go back, I just get like easily triggered. And I just don't love New York. So I don't love being back there. And so I wanted to leave kind of whenever I thought that it was okay. And in reality, physical therapy to help something like I have could take a really, really long time. It could take a year or two. It could take a couple months. It could take a couple years. Like, you kind of never know. But I just really didn't want to be there anymore. And obviously I can get physical therapy and treatments in other places. And so in my head, I was like, okay, well, where could I go back and stay for a little while and possibly get more treatments? And I was like, of course I can go back to Nashville, because when I was here a couple months ago, I was staying with my friend David. I've talked to you guys about him. And so he was like, yeah, of course you can come stay back here for a little while. And so the drive from New York to Nashville, I did very, very differently. I did not do it straight through, because when I did the Nashville to New York, I did it straight through, one shot. Like, I left at whatever, 9 in the morning, and I actually stayed in Brooklyn that night, but I got there at whatever, 2 a.m. I drove all day, and I did not do that this time because I know that made it much worse. Driving, like sitting in the driver's seat for more than a couple hours makes it worse. And so when I drove back to Nashville, I left on Sunday, I took a lot of stops. I only would drive a few hours at a time, and I gave myself 2 full days to get here. I did work Monday, but I like drove and work and drove and work and then drove more at night. And it did make it worse being in the car and driving that much. But first of all, sleeping in the car did not make it worse. Driving made it worse. The sleeping did not make it worse at all. I was able to stretch out and like lie in the way that was helpful for my shoulder and for my neck, so that was fine. But then driving did make it a little bit worse, because like my neck pain, the nerve pain was actually subsiding a little bit more than the muscle pain, but the drive back to Nashville made the nerve pain come back a little bit more. So anyway, I don't know how long I'm gonna stay here. I really don't know. I'm gonna be staying at David's. At least now I know I can sleep in the car with this pain. Like it hasn't made it worse. I only slept in the car that one night, but it didn't make it worse, and I don't think it will. I think it really is the driving. But anyway, and also just sometimes it just hurts more than others. Like it can depend on how I sleep, but also certain things that I'm doing. If I lift something, I'm not really supposed to lift anything. I think they said more than like 8 pounds with really either of my arms, because even sometimes using my other arm can trigger this too. And so anyway, I'm dealing with that. And that has put a huge damper on my mental health. And so let's kind of jump to my mental health for a second. So a lot of you guys know I have pretty severe mental health issues, incredibly severe depression and anxiety that I've had since I was 19, and I'm 32 now. And one of the things that I've always enjoyed was being on the road, was traveling. And my anxiety generally lessens when I'm on the road. And now that I have this injury and I can't travel as much, it has made my depression so much worse, because I'm like, now I can't, like, I know that my YouTube hasn't been, I don't know, just as interesting or exciting, because I've just been extra sad, and I've been extra, I can't really do anything without it being so painful. And I know, here's the thing that I hope that you guys understand. I'm not saying this is the worst pain that anyone has had in the entire world, but this type of pain, the muscles and spasm and the nerve pain, like it's a pain that I am just, I don't do well with. I really, really am not doing well with it. And so not only is the pain just bringing me down, but then the pain lessening my capability to do the things that I even remotely enjoy doing, like being on the road, has been making it worse. You know what I mean?
All right, editing Katie here one more time. I just kind of want to explain this really quickly. The whole idea is that, like, if my shoulder didn't hurt, my neck didn't hurt, I might still be in Nashville for another few weeks or another couple months, because I love it here. It's kind of confusing for me to explain, but it's more like I don't even have the option to be on the road right now. So while I might want to stay in Nashville, even if I was completely healthy, I might still want to stay here for a little while. The fact that my shoulder hurts so bad that I can't really drive for more than a couple hours at a time means that I can't be on the road, so I don't even have that option. And not being able to have the option to live the life that I have been living for the last few years is making me more depressed, if that makes sense. So like, I love being on the road. I also love staying in certain towns. And so again, I love Nashville. So I might still be staying here even if my shoulder didn't hurt, but it's the whole idea that I literally can't. And so it's not my choice. So like kind of like the choice of being on the road or staying in one place was taken away from me, and the pain is forcing me to stay. That's what I mean. I know it's a little confusing, but I hope that that kind of makes sense. Okay, bye.
So my mental health has just been honestly garbage. And I did go to a psychiatrist a couple weeks ago, and he gave me some medications, and I haven't started them yet. I have them, I filled them, I have them with me, but I haven't started them yet. And that's mostly because I've been on and off medication and in and out of therapy since I was 19. And all the medications I've been on quite a few. And they either didn't work at all for me, or I was allergic to them. Or they made me sick in a way that maybe I wasn't allergic, but I was incredibly sensitive possibly to them. And it makes me nervous to start them again. And so I haven't been on medication in 2 years, and the last medicine I was on, I ended up being allergic to. I was covered in a rash. And so it is just very defeating, because I think a lot of people have a very, very backwards view on psychiatric medications. It's not just, here's Prozac, it helps everyone who's depressed. That's not how medicines like that work. There are tons of different medicines, and only like 2 might work for you. Like, you don't know. It's a huge trial and error thing, like huge. And so I've tried at least a dozen different medications in my life, and one worked for a little while, for like a few months. And by worked, I mean, in my head, I was like, I felt more like calm, I guess. And I was like, is this how everyone else feels every day? And that medication worked for about, I don't know, I would say maybe 3 months. And then they kept increasing the dose, which is what they normally do. And then one dose ended up making me throw up. And so they're like, all right, let's bring you back down to the dose that didn't make you throw up. But then that just eventually kind of stopped working. And by eventually, I mean pretty quickly stopped working. And so that, you know, made me feel defeated. But every other medicine I was either allergic to quicker or just didn't work at all. And so it's scary for me to start them again. But I also know that I don't want to cry every day. If I have a day that I don't cry, it's a good day. And this is even before my shoulder. This has been, I mean, this has been for 13 years, but it's been kind of just getting a little bit worse as of maybe the summer. And then, you know, the shoulder on top of that, I mean, not really being able to be on the road on top of that is just making everything worse. And I know that I'm not living my best life. Like, I only put that in quotes because it's such like a catchphrasey thing now. But the reality is that I know that I'm not acting on my capabilities as much as I could be because my mental health is so low. And so I think I'm gonna start that medicine like in the next few days. I'm not gonna tell you what the meds are, but I will kind of keep you updated. This doctor told me that they should kick in, like the ones he gave me should kick in within just a few weeks because it takes a little while. But anyway, so that's the mental health update. I just haven't been very good. And again, I'm really scared to take the meds, but it's just at the point now where I'm like, I can't live like this. And I know that there's a chance, just because my stomach and stuff, I do have a lot of food allergies and medication allergies and stuff like that. So I do know that I could be sensitive to these meds. They might not work. I know that, but I am just open and willing to give them a chance because they might work. They might work. They might help me feel calm enough, or like, you know, just like okay enough that I can deal with the other things that are going on, because certain things that I deal with, meds are not going to help. You know, it's more about having the meds help you get into a space where then you can work on yourself like a little bit easier, if that makes sense. Like if I'm having an anxiety attack all day, every day, I'm not really going to be able to work on it because I'm so in it, you know? And so hopefully the meds kind of bring me out of it a little bit, and then I'll be able to work on the other things. I don't think I'm gonna go to therapy. Therapy has never helped me. I know it helps a lot of people and that's amazing, but it's never helped me. And I don't really think I'm gonna go back anytime soon. I was thinking of trying one of those online therapy things. I don't know why I think that might be different, but at least in-person therapy, I don't think I'm gonna be doing right now, but I am gonna try those meds soon, and I will keep you updated on that. So now we can just go to like work and YouTube and stuff like that. So YouTube, I'm going to be doing Tuesday and Friday for the foreseeable future. I know last year I was doing Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, and then for December I said I was going to do more than that, and I really didn't. I am just so incredibly overwhelmed, and again, with my shoulder, with my brain, I'm so overwhelmed. And I think that like I'm still going to be doing YouTube, and I am incredibly committed to YouTube. But I think having my commitment be the tiniest bit smaller to just Tuesday, Friday, which is what I used to do like when I first started, I think that'll make it a little bit easier for me to make better quality content, to make cooler content. I had a meeting with my assistant today. I hired an assistant about 6 weeks ago. She's amazing. And we had a meeting today talking about like all these video ideas, and I'm excited to bring to you guys, if we were talking about doing some series, and we were talking about certain just ideas and stuff that maybe I've never really done before, or that I've done but kind of in passing, and stuff that I can really focus on and really talk about that hopefully you guys will really enjoy. And I bought a drone, which I'm really excited about, so I can hopefully, if I learn how to use it, get some like really cool shots. And I also am going to like start like taking more pictures and getting more pictures taken of me that I can post on Instagram. I mean, like, I'm really, really committed to this, and I just appreciate you guys for being patient with me and for understanding, because I know a lot of you guys suffer too with physical health and your mental health and just feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious. I know a lot of you guys struggle with that too, and so I hope that you guys understand. I know a lot of you do and are like, you know, like giving me grace with this, but I want to reassure you, I am committed. I really, really want to continue this journey that I'm on with YouTube and with growing my channel. And so right now, yeah, I'm not gonna be on the road. I might do little trips here and there, but I'm in Nashville. Nashville has a ton of awesome things that I can show you and that I can talk to you about. And so again, I don't know, literally a miracle could happen and tomorrow my shoulder could be better and I still would stay in Nashville for a little while just because I love it here. Then I would go other places, but right now I'm gonna be here for, I don't know, a month. Again, a lot of it depends on my shoulder. But anyway, so YouTube, I'm super, super committed to. My other job is doing totally great. I have a 9 to 5. Well, it's like 9 to 5:30 Eastern time, doing customer service online. And that job's going really, really well. And so that's good. I'm really glad that I have like a few stable things that are like positive in my life. Even though I'm such like a spontaneous kind of person, for me, I think it's important to have just a few stable things. And that could be like a few people in my life who are stable, and knowing that my 9 to 5 job is pretty stable. And I mean, it's online, so it doesn't even matter where I am. Like those, for me, having just those few things that are stable are important to me, and they help me kind of like keep going, you know? I think that one of the things that has really helped me with anxiety is having any remote sense of purpose, and a lot of that has been work. And so I know that when I wake up, I have to do something, and that helps me. Even though a lot of times I might wake up and feel like I don't want to do anything, even though I love my job. I just, you guys know, with mental health issues, sometimes you wake up and you're like, why am I awake? Why do I have to exist today, you know? But for me, having to do something helps. And so I'm very grateful that I have a job that is a little bit more like set hours. And so job's going great. YouTube, again, those are like my few updates that I'm gonna be doing. And also, obviously, like, I wanna make videos that I enjoy, but I wanna make videos that you guys want to see. And so if there's stuff, like if there's videos that I used to make that I don't make anymore, or if you have ideas for me that you feel like I should have done by now and I haven't, or that you wanna see while I'm in Nashville or anything like that, let me know in the comments. I will absolutely, again, I've been talking with my assistant about interesting video ideas and hopefully things that you guys would really enjoy. And so leave me in the comments any suggestions that you guys have, and so we can kind of compile those and just see what works best, because I want to make awesome content for you guys. So that's like one of my priorities. But I think that's it for my update. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe, ring that little notification bell. And if you're not already, go follow me on Instagram. I do Instagram stories quite often, and I'm posting more pictures on there. So I hope you guys like that as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.